Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of EMD Algo Update News. And what we're going to be talking about today is Monday, October 8th. And the top news actually about the EMD Algo update has been this past weekend that Penguin felt left out. And it took vengeance this past Friday on 10/5. Its vengeance was very weak though. It looks like the EMD and the Panda update just prior to the EMD was the big effects that actually rippled through the internet SEO world. And basically, this little penguin was very, very minimal. I did not see any effect on any of my sites, nothing that seemed out of the ordinary after the EMD had already hit and deranked a lot of my sites or brought them down further than I'd like or brought traffic down. So, the best understandable recovery method that I found thus far is from a website that's called sourcewave.com. The page is Google-EMD-update. And if you just go to sourcewave.com and go to this site here, you'll see there's a lot of great information that he has put up, including some proof or what observations that he had of what sites went up in rank, what they had, like Twitter, YouTube channels, low exact keyword targeting, more links to the inner site than the affiliate links on the home page. So there's a lot of evidence that he puts out there on how to not only recover, but how to check your site to see if you actually caused a penalty trigger. So he explains a lot about the on-page and off-page signs. This guy Becker just really when I was going to do a EMD recovery and looked at this stuff, he was a lot more thorough than I was going to be based on the page that he wrote out. It's a long website page, but great information, and really I believe if you follow the stuff that he's put out there, you'll actually probably recover because it really comes down to good basic SEO practices, and that's what everybody needs to do in order to recover from this. It's because just Google is getting better of getting the spam sites off of their search engine. So basically you want to watch out for over-optimization. If you use just good SEO techniques, you should be fine. The over-optimized sites, meaning that you're doing your SEO work of in-linking, text linking, backlinking, overdoing it all, buying links, whatever it might be. Basically anything that hit gray hat seems to be also had been affected. So, if your site or your webmaster tools looks like this, basically it's time to do some type of recovery. So this is my webmaster tools for one of the websites that we're going to be using as a test ground to fix. Obviously the EMD hit very, very hard. And in fact, you can see even how some of the patterns started got disrupted just before the EMD from the Panda update as well. And it's been steady and low, so we know that this is actually going to be a site that's going to be really good for us to work on. So as we move to the next slide, here is the analytics for the same site. And as you can see, all the way back in January of 2012, this site was getting almost close to 400 hits a day. Many of them were unique. The new visits were 87%. And check out that bounce rate at 55. There are times that actually, if you just segmented out the highest end traffic, it was actually around 50 or below. So this site was actually doing some service on the internet. People were really liking it. They were actually linking to it. But nonetheless, it started getting hit. Now, the reason why there's big fluctuations is not from algorithm updates, except for the one in October with the big red line pointing at it. Most of the actual drops in this were because of either getting hacked or a rebuild out of WordPress. So this site was originally in WordPress when I was doing all of its great numbers, and then it got hacked. After I found out about the hack, put back in the original WordPress, it did well again, and then it got hacked again. And actually, every time this site got hacked, about 12 to 15 others of my sites got hacked. So I had to rebuild those, and I started getting tired of it. So the ones I started really focusing on wasn't one of them. So I kind of let it go to the wayside. I rebuilt it in an HTML editor, and that's when you see about May, between the April and June, somewhere around that area where it just kind of leveled off at this HTML editor. Now, obviously, the content seemed to have a lot less. There was a lot less in-linking because of the editor, whereas WordPress automatically builds its in-links. So the EMD really hit it really, really hard. It went from almost 400 hits a day down to less than 30. But check the bounce rate. The reason why I have that highlighted is because you're going to see the next screen of just what the bounce rate is at now after the EMD until today. So here we see what the chart looks like from the 29th when it got hit, or the 30th when it got hit by the EMD up until today. And look at that bounce rate, it's all the way up at 64. In my opinion, this is kind of saying that the results being served are not helping the community as much anymore because people are bouncing away instead of staying. I'm getting a little more new visits, but the visits are so light, so the different words that are actually being indexed now, it's just not doing very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some steps to do the rebuild on this. First thing, we're going to rebuild the site in WordPress. Take it off the HTML editor, do a full rebuild in WordPress. We're look into keywords that actually we could better optimize for this site, and then we're going to build better content and pages based on those keywords that we find. Then we're going to do some adding of the monetization links like AdSense, and strictly only AdSense. We're not going to use any other ad network because there is a theory out there that sites are doing better that have AdSense on it. I want to test this theory and see if that actually does make a difference or not. I mean, I guess it would be hard to say since I'm probably not going to take off the AdSense once it's up, but to see if it actually helps in the recovery just by adding it, and we see if we get recovery. Going to add some YouTube videos and link to it, and then we're going to build every link we possibly can as white hat as possible, and we're going to be doing that using social media. Spreading the word out there, using Twitter, using Facebook, and asking people to go ahead and link and just to give us their likes to it. I'm not going to go ahead and guide anybody to link any specific words. I don't buy links. I just don't believe in that. So I'm just going to go strictly white hat and see if we can get some links that way just by spreading the word to maybe some high traffic forums or boards, not by putting my own link, but letting others go ahead and put it on their blogs or whatever it might be. And then after that, we're just going to watch it grow. We want to see what happens, what effects it has. Just keep working at it and put it all together and see if this is going to be our case study. See if we'd be able to go ahead and recover from the EMD update completely, just doing good SEO practices with this. And this is a 5 keyword phrase EMD. So not only did we target the 5 keyword phrase in the beginning so that we would get all the traffic anybody types in the 5 word phrase, but we also got some residual off of the shorter phrases that were within the 5 words that were also very heavily trafficked key terms or searched key terms, and we just kind of focus some of the pages within the site along those multiple words that are in the 5 phrasing. So with that, this is our update for today. We want to hear from you. Send us your email, MP3 audio file, or video to emdalgoupdate@gmail.com. And tell us whether you've been affected by the EMD, what you've noticed. If you could tell us where you were before and after, that'd be great too. If you want to share your URL, that's totally up to you. But we just kind of want to know what you've noticed, what others have been saying, and if there's anything that you have pinpointed as an exact, I guess, problem or penalty that came across. Even though the EMD I do not believe is a penalty, it just simply took out the weight. If you look back at our last video, it actually showed an example of how the EMD weight was taken out. But thank you for joining us. We'll see you again. My name is Chris. I'm from Web Life Marketing, and we have a site at emdalgo.com. Sign up for a newsletter. If you're watching this on YouTube, please follow our channel or like us, or add some comments, get some information going about this. Any SEO news that's out there would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for joining us, and have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.